everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back here to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Today we're going to work with this Stampin' Up! Photopolymer stamp set called Submarine Life. This is such a cute little set, and it's really not little. Look at all the images you get. You get these little fishes here, some fish here. You even get a bird if you wanted to do a scene with the sky. But I look at this as all being under the ocean because of the submarine, and you've got all these other little, here's an octopus, a little fish, a starfish, a little crab, and I love these because they got snorkels on. So cute. That is another thing that makes me think under the sea. So anyway, this is such a cute set, and it also comes with, in the bundle, this really cute punch, and this is called the Submarine Life Builder. Now, this is featured in the mini catalog. And of course, this ends on the end of the month, which is Tuesday. But really good news, if you love this little submarine and you haven't gotten it yet, never fear, because this is coming back. What is so great about this is going to be featured. If you notice, I've changed my sticker from being a yellow sticker that indicates a mini catalog item to a blue sticker which indicates a annual catalog item. So this is coming back in the new annual catalog as a regular item. There's quite a few that are coming back, so be on the lookout. If you haven't gotten your catalog yet, you should have. If you have been a customer of mine, you should have received your catalog. If you have not received your catalog by May the 1st, please reach out to me and let me know. I'll be more than glad to get a catalog in the mail to you. Even if you're not a customer and you're interested in purchasing from me, I want you to have a catalog in your hand. Okay, with all that being said, let me show you. This was one of the cards I was just playing around with, and I did this one. I thought it was cute, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. I had to whack off the sides and it was uneven. So y'all know me, that's just not acceptable in my book. So I decided that I was going to try making this card in a different way. So the first thing we have is a piece of 8.5 by 5.5. It's a half a sheet of cardstock, 8.5 this way, 5.5 this way, and we're going to score this. We're going to go ahead and build our card from the base up, and I'm going to show you just how cute this card can be. So I'm going to score this at 4 and, oops, let me bring this down so you can see. Put your cardstock all the way up into your scoring tool, all the way up to your top left-hand corner, and then right at 4 1/4, I'm going to give that a good score. And that is going to be all the scoring we're going to need to do, so we can put this away. And I am going to fold it, and I'm going to grab my bone folder. I got a long sleeve shirt here today because it has been unseasonably cool. And yes, I'm in North Carolina and it should be warm, but it has been a little on the chilly side here today. I also have a piece, and I love the blue and this green together. I think it's so pretty. The Night of Navy with this summer splash. And I love the way that looks. And if you notice, I cut my mat at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I have that little tiny border around the edge. I just love that look. I also have a piece of white, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And that is going to give us that tiny little border around there. So you can see how our layers are looking, and I think they look really pretty. Now, I used my stylish shape dies, and let me show you what I did. I took my two largest ones. Let's get those out. I took the two largest circles of the stylish shape, and I made sure that they were even all the way around, and I taped them together using my little Post-it flags. And then I took a piece of the Summer Splash and I cut a circle out like this. Then I went back with a piece of Night of Navy and did the same thing, And I got the center of the circle for that. Why did I do that? Because I want to frame this with that. So what I want to do is I want to put that down like that and then have this cute little frame around my circle, something like that. Isn't that cute? And then with my submarine, I want to show you what I did. I stamped this in Daffodil Delight. There it is. And I stamped my little periscope and my little propeller in black. And all I've done was took and put them together with a little bit of glue. And I've got some stamping dimensionals on the back of this so that when I do put it together, that is going to sit up like it's almost coming to life. So anytime you're using any of the little cartoonish type things, if you pop them up, it really does make a difference. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to do some stamping on this before I put anything on it. And I'm going to show you what I want to do. I'm going to grab the little wavies out of here, and we're going to stamp some of those across our card. So what I want to do is I want to start up here, and I think I want to do those in the Night of Navy. And I'll show you why. I think I want to do it Night of Navy because I'm going to use Pool Party. And I think the Night of Navy will be a good contrast. So let me get my Night of Navy. And I'm going to pick this up on one of my longer blocks. So I'm choosing this one. This is the H block. And it works perfect for your longer images like this. So I'm going to tap that in my ink. And, you know, you don't have to be exact, but if you want to be, you can line it up. And then I'm going to come down to about here. And see what it's doing. It's giving us a beautiful little wave that looks like we've got some water. And I'm going to come down to about there and stamp another one. And then I'm going to come down to about here. And stamp again. I think that's all I'm going to do. I just want a little bit of that up there. I do want a little of this bottom that looks like the bottom of the ocean across the bottom right there. So I'm going to pick that up on the back side of that. And because I can see through this, I can very easily ink it up. And hopefully we won't mess this piece up. I'm going to come right to the bottom and stamp. I don't care if it looks a little bit uneven because we're on the bottom of the ocean. So it's supposed to look a little grainy and sandy. And that is pretty much what I want to do with this. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to take one of my blending brushes, and this is my blues, and I'm going to grab Pool Party. Oh, you know what? This might do better in the greens. Let me grab my green brush. I think this might work better with my greens. And I'm just going to load up some color onto my brush. I'm going to tap over here just to tap off a little bit of it. You can see it didn't take much off, but that's what I want. I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And I just want to spread a little bit of that green ocean water color. That's why we call it Pool Party. And I'm just going to swirl that in a little bit like that. And a little bit, it is picking up a little bit more of the green, but that's okay. I'm going to come up here a little bit. And I think that is plenty of the green that we're going to need on that. Now, If you want that to be a little bit more bluish, you can most certainly come back in and put the blue, or you could have used balmy blue. If you notice on this one, I did use balmy blue, but it's totally up to you whatever color you want it to be. So now this piece is pretty much ready to go on here like that. And then I have these two pieces, and I want this to live right about here, like that. And I'm going to glue everything down. So I'm going to bring this together, but I'm going to put glue on the back of this first and just swirl some glue. Make sure you get it all the way to the edge so you don't have any lifting. And I'm going to put that down right about there. And then I'm going to hold this piece like this. Make sure I got the right side. This is the wrong side, so I'm going to put glue on the wrong side, and you can tell which is your front and back. And I'm going to put glue all the way around this little circle frame. And then I want to sit this down something like that. And I'm just going to give that a good press to make sure everything adheres. And I want to show y'all a little trick that I think works great when you're doing punches. If you will take a piece of cardstock, and let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to grab a small piece of scrap of cardstock like this, and I am going to put it into my punch to where the side is even over here. You notice how this is very even, just straight along that edge. And I'm going to punch. Now, those three pieces that punched out, I'm not going to use. What I need is this right here. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to show you how you can make you a template like this, and you can keep this and have it for time and time again. But I'm going to take and cut this off about to there, any size you want it. I just want to keep everything kind of uniformed. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put this into the bottom corner of my MISTI, like that, press it down. Then I'm going to take my stamps, and this works for any punch that you have. Put that down on your MISTI, and then take your stamps and fit them in, just like that. And they're going to stick. They're going to adhere in. But take each one of your pieces and lay them in like so, just like they're supposed to be. And then we are going to close that up and pick up our stamps. Now, because I have the silicone, it is sticking a little bit more. But then we have our stamps already adhered over here. So now we can take this piece up and grab us another piece of cardstock. What did I do with that piece? Okay, right here. So now I can take another piece of white cardstock and lay it into that corner, just like that. And I can ink this up. Now, I'm not going to do my two small pieces. I'm going to show you how you can redo those. I'm going to take those off, and I'm just going to ink up my submarine. So I'm going to use that Daffodil Delight, just like I did for the one that I already done. And we're just going to ink it really good, get a good amount of color on it, and just stamp it down. Put some pressure on it, and there we go. If you want to stamp it again, you most certainly can. Bring it over, give it a good press. And remember, that's going to lighten. Yeah, that's going to lighten because that's the Daffodil Delight. It's going to lighten as it dries. So if you're looking at it and you say, oh, that's just way too dark, it will lighten. So now we can come back in with that piece and set it right over top of our submarine. And we can fit these in here and this in here. Now all we have to do is remove this. And I'm going to use a little bit of cleaner and just clean off my little stamp. I want to get that ink off of that and keep it nice and clean. So now I can peel that up and put it back in its case. I'm going to pick up those little pieces. Now remember, it's okay if you pick the paper up because we know exactly where it needs to be positioned, and that's right like that. Give it a press. Now I can ink these up in the color ink. Let's say we wanted to do those in Night of Navy instead of black. Since I had the Night of Navy here, I thought, why not? So I'm going to ink those in blue, and then I am going to stamp them. And this will work, like I said, for any of your punches. If you have multiple images that you need your punch to punch out. And the great thing about it is you can come back and re-ink if you didn't get it quite dark enough. So once you get those inked, we can come in. Let me use that little cloth and see if I can clean these off real quick. Right. So now when we pull this off of our MISTI, or any stamp positioning tool that you're using, we can take our punch now and go right in here like this and line everything up just like that. Lock it and punch it. Now, when you punch these out, you have got your little propeller that you can glue to the end of your little submarine. And you got your little periscope up here that you can glue right up at the top of that. And that's how I did this one. That's exactly the way I did this one. This one is done in blue and this one's in black, but it works no matter what color you decide to do your little submarine with. And all I've done was put that on with just regular liquid glue. And I put some of the little dimensionals. I just wanted to go back and show y'all, if some of you ever have trouble positioning your punches to punch out what you need, that is the ticket. That's the way to do it. All right, so we're going to bring over our pieces, and I want to go ahead and adhere this piece to my mat, and I'm going to do that using liquid glue. So I'm going to get a good amount of liquid glue on the back of that piece. And remember, we have those tiny little borders on here, so you want to make sure that your borders are right where you want them. It is a little harder when you have the smaller border to line everything up. That looks real good. So now we're ready to put that down onto our card base. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use some liquid glue on the back of this. I've had people ask me, why do I do circles like that instead of straight lines? I do both, but I like the circles because it gives me a little bit of glue everywhere. And that just makes my glue more even and easier to get my piece where I want it. So now you can see all of those borders. You can see just how cute this is starting to come together. And we're going to put that little yellow submarine right there in the middle of that little window that we created. And I went ahead and used some of the little characters that I showed y'all on here earlier. And that's the little crab, octopus, the little fish, the starfish, we're also going to stamp some bubbles. So I want to grab, how about a zero afternoon? That's a real pretty blue, and I think that's going to show up good on here. So we're going to stamp a few of the bubbles, and I'm going to grab those out of my stamp set. Over here is our little bubbles, and you would not have a submarine and not have some bubbles coming up. So let's go ahead and pick that up and ink it. And let's put some bubbles here and here. Let's do a couple there. And maybe there. I think that's good. I also want to stamp some fish. So I'm going to grab Calypso Coral. And I'm going to grab my little school, the larger school of fish. And let's pick those up on a block. And ink them up. And let's have a little school of them going maybe right here. So cute. Let's have some up here. Right. And then I cut out some of those other images. I want some more fish that are different colors. So I'm going to grab this little string of fish and we're going to put them swimming along, going in this direction. And we're going to do them. How about some green fish? Lemon lime twist. They're all different colors under the ocean, so why not? Let's go ahead and get one of these little blocks and we'll ink those up. And we're going to have some going here. And let's have some right about here. And I think that's all of those we need because I want to save room because I did stamp and not die cut, but fussy cut some of the little under the sea items like our little octopus. He's going to hang out right about here. I think he'll be cute there. I've got this cute little snorkeling fish, and he's going to come and hang out right about there. I love the little starfish. He's going to rest down here on the bottom, right about there. And we've got the little Mr. Crab, and I want him to be, where do we want Mr. Crab? Right about, maybe we want the starfish up there and the crab right here. I think that'd be cute. And so I'm going to glue those all in place. And then we're going to decide where we're going to put a sentiment. So let me move my stamp blocks over here. And I want to pop these up. So I'm going to see which ones will handle a regular size dimensional. And I think that one will. And he's going to sit right there. Let's go ahead and get our submarine in place. So there is our submarine. Like that. And this one I don't think is going to take a regular size one, but we can definitely use a mini. That's what these little mini dimensionals are great for, is when you got little small pieces, you can still be able to get those down on there just like that. And this one, I think we can handle one big one on it. And maybe one little one. They're the same height, so they don't look like they would be, but they are the same depth. They're just different sizes in diameter. So we're going to put him right there. Let's see. He's interfering with our periscope. So let's move him up to about there. There we go. And what was the last one? The little fish. And I think for the fish, we're definitely going to need a couple of these. And we're going to put him right there. Is that not the cutest little card with our submarine? Um, and the title of this stamp set, Submarine Life, is just perfect. So I'm so glad this one actually carried over because I hadn't had a chance to really fall in love with this one. So this gives me a chance. So we need to do a sentiment on the front of this. So this little piece here, no, not that one, this one. Which one was my, okay, that was my template. This was the extra piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip off of that one, and I'm going to do Sending Oceans of Love. Is that not so cute? So we're going to take Sending Oceans of Love. Let's see if that's going to fit. And it will. It'll fit right across there just like that. And I think I'm going to do it in the Night of Navy. And I'm going to pick that up. And I do want to ink it in my Night of Navy. So I'm moving the stamps over here. So I'm going to ink that up. And it's like, oops, didn't look like I got quite enough ink there in the middle. I'm going to stamp up here and then come down and stamp at the bottom. Oh, I just want to make sure that I'm getting, yeah, that's beautiful. Sometimes the first time you stamp with a stamp, it's not conditioned enough to take the ink, but that worked out beautiful. So I'm going to stamp that as close down to that bottom edge as I possibly can, like so. And then I'm just going to cut that off using my trimmer. So I'm going to lay this in my trimmer, and I'm going to bring it to where it's just barely above. And you can see your cuts line inside there, so you can see if you are going over it. And that is perfect. Now we are ready to put this, and I think it is going to go perfectly right up underneath our submarine, just like that. And we can pop this up as well, and I think the smaller dimensionals will definitely be the ticket for this one as well. So I'm going to put the little beauties all along this one, like so. And one more. Just like that. And then I'm going to peel off my backers. And then we are going to set this down just like that. Sending Oceans of Love. Then for our inside, it's so simple because with our inside, you can do another mat of the white, or you could do the Summer Splash. And I think what I want to do is maybe I might just do a white. I may just do a white. And I've got a scrap of white right here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a mat that is 4 by 5 1/4. And you could put some waves inside of this if you wanted to, or you could leave it and write a message. You could make any of the little characters and stamp them across the bottom. Just so many things you can do with this set. I hope you've enjoyed the process of watching me make this card. Sending oceans of love. The happy birthday would be so cute inside this one. There is just, I mean, it's, floating by just to say hi. You are sublime. I love that. The little what do you call those? Like the little ocean greenery. You could make that green or coral or really bright, pretty blues or whatever color. They'd be beautiful to stamp at the bottom of your card. You also have this little piece that looks like the water is moving behind the submarine, which would be so cute too. I'll be using this again. No doubt, because it's such a cute stamp set and it's so much fun to play with. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that if you have this set, you'll give it a try. And if you want to grab this set, grab it now. I don't know if the prices have gone up in the new catalog, but I would say grab it now before the new catalog comes out. A lot of the prices are going up. The card stocks are all increasing in price. And Stampin' Up's done something this year that I've not seen them do before, and that's they're bringing back some of their designer series paper. The Countryside Inn is coming back. The Winter Meadow is coming back. That was from the Christmas mini catalog from the previous year, 2023. There was another one that has come back. I can't remember which one it was. And don't forget about our online exclusives because there's some beautiful things there that will not be in the catalog. And hopefully some of the things that will carry over onto our online exclusives. So go to my website and check out online exclusives. Thanks so much for tuning in. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory and honor to Jesus. He is worthy. Until next time, take care. Love you. Bye-bye.